What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, a home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and unlike John Winchester, we have returned because today we are talking Supernatural Season 13, Episodes 17 to 23. We're going to finish Season 13 finally, which means that we only have 2 seasons to go, which you might get it before the turn of the decade, at this rate that we're
We'll
going.
see.
We'll see. Depends. Maybe we're just saving it for a rainy day. I don't know, but we haven't done some Supernatural in a bit, so we're going to be talking strict spoilers, episode breakdown. If you've not come on and experienced this, just know we love talking some Supernatural. We're going through my first time watching it. I haven't started a rewatch yet fully. Too many other things going on, and you can like, subscribe, share, follow anywhere you find us. If this is your first time, we typically go into news, what we're reading or watching. Beer of the week, but we're just diving into Supernatural this week. I don't even have a beer this week. It's just Lauren probably is recovering from Tortuga. There's just a lot going on out there.
Yeah, I have a green drink. I'm like Sam right now. I got my green
She's
drink.
recovering. Look at you and your little gross kale thing. Yeah, I had a smoothie, got some water, and not holy water. But speaking of that, we can just go right into episode 17, Lauren. So why don't you kick us off?
Yes, so if you've been following along recently with our last episode, you see we skipped Scooby Natural because we did a whole episode on Scooby Natural. So if you're on the YouTube playlist, that is in chronological order. But so previously on, we learned Asmodeus has Gabriel, Ketch is playing both sides, and the boys and Cass saved the Scooby gang.
They did, and we even got to just saying we've got to get some cool pictures with Jeremy Adams, the writer of Scooby Natural. So
yeah, we did an interview with him, so we kind of have 2 Scooby Natural episodes.
No big deal.
So number 17, episode 17 of season 13, The Thing. We start with a woman in clothing from the earlier part of the 1900s being tied down while weird dudes chant and mix stuff together. Back at the bunker, Dean puts Post-its on a passed out Sam to remind us very much so that they are still siblings first. They're researching more on how to get to the other world. Remember, you need grace of an archangel, fruit from the tree of life, seal of Solomon, and blood of the most holy man. So far, they have blood of the most holy man, fruit from the tree of life, and they're working on the seal of Solomon. In their library, they find something that directs them to a chapter house of the Men of Letters in Rhode Island. Inside the Rhode Island bunker, they find the woman from the beginning still chained
still there
up.
all these years. Look at that. She's just going strong still somehow, some way.
So without asking any questions at all, or even wondering what's going on, they simply unchain her, and they take her to get some food at a local diner. They're spotted, and creepy rogue people show up. Sam is poisoned and taken. Dean is ready for blood because his brother has been taken. He's going full Liam Neeson. Sam learns these weird rogue people are other legacies. They thought they were the only ones. And one of them was actually the chef, and that's why he poisoned Sam. Or that's how he poisoned Sam. And they just unleashed a monster god because they didn't ask questions and just released her.
Guys, come on, man. Rule 1. If you see somebody chained up, you got to ask some questions. Granted, the person chained up's probably not going to tell you the truth anyways. However,
you inquire a little bit. Don't just go out and about.
Well, like in their line of work, to just show up and be like, yeah, no, all right, we'll let her free. Guys.
Mistakes were made.
Maybe.
So years ago, these 2 legacies their grandfather was traumatized after World War II, reasonably so, and they summoned the god in hopes of bringing paradise on Earth. Instead, she ate him. Before she could summon her mate, they bound her, but she is now free. So, of course, she wants to summon her mate. She eats a local kid, but fortunately for Dean, he's just too damn hot to be food. He gets her to, he's like, oh, you're going to be my mate. She's like, I'm going to put my mate into you. So, and he even says, quote, it's like a Hallmark movie, but with tentacles. He's so unfazed by this situation. It's
not
very
at all
comical.
Not at all.
So the monster enjoys looking at his face. As her mate starts to encompass Dean, Sam and the others show up, and she is sent through the portal, and she's gone. So the monster now gone, these other legacies straight up just give them the Seal of Solomon, tell them to have a guide who has been there before, and that the rift will only stay open for 24 hours. Meanwhile, Ketch sees Asmodeus taking Gabe's grace and injecting himself with it. After Ketch gives him attitude, he beats the crap out of him. Ketch is not a fan of this, so the first chance he gets, he rescues an unwilling Gabriel and gets the hell out of there. As the boys get back to the bunker, Ketch is there with a gift for them. It's Gabriel, as well as some already extracted grace and his archangel blade. Ketch asks for protection from Asmodeus as an exchange. Sam's like, no, and Dean goes, deal. Sam opens the door, and Dean and Ketch go to the apocalypse world together.
Yeah, you can never trust that Catch. Anytime he shows up and
It's a
makes a deal, come on,
slippery
man.
bugger.
No, and he like, come
Well,
on,
Dean doesn't
dude.
trust him, but
No.
he's desperate right now.
And I also really appreciate the fact that every time we think we have seen the last of Gabriel, he does reappear and continuously comes back. And that's probably my favorite because he's like my favorite. He's so goofy and silly and fun, but he's
Right.
not having a good time in this scenario at least because he's been
I mean, this
imprisoned.
is yeah. Everybody comes, but he's a trickster. You can never trust anything.
That's true. Between Catch and then Gabriel's hijinks ensuing, you can just never trust them. But fun facts, Jinkies Mister, which is a reference to the Scooby Natural episode, of course. Come on, Velma.
Because Dean says this at the beginning. He goes,
Yeah.
"Jinkies." Dan's like, "You gonna stop saying that?" He goes, "Probably not."
Nope. The title refers to the film The Thing from 1982, which was a remake of an earlier film, The Thing from Another World from 1951, and had a prequel of the same name. Now, The Thing 2011 was the prequel. Now, it centers on a group of remote Arctic outposts trying to keep an alien threat at bay. That kind of follows along with this because The Thing, I love The Thing, first of all. Kurt Russell, just absolutely love that movie. The Thing is so good. Gah, got me raving about
It's
that movie.
getting intense. I wasn't
It's
expecting this level of passion.
The Thing? Are you kidding me? It's like
I've
one of
actually
the
never
best
seen
horror.
it. It's a
What?
horror, so maybe let's write it. I'm gonna write it down. We'll do it for
Not
Halloween
just
time.
horror. It's like one of the best horror movies of all time.
So we're gonna kick off Halloween time with The
Oh,
Thing.
oh yeah. We got to watch The Thing because
The
that movie
Thing.
is so good.
Do
But
they play
anyways,
that song? That thing,
no,
that
no,
thing,
sure
that.
don't.
What? I'm
Just get a
shocked.
lot of
You don't get Lauren Hill?
craziness. Now, also, aside from the other two fun facts, we have Dean says he'll pass on whatever gatekeeper key master thing she's got going on, which is a Ghostbusters. There is
Again,
no.
he was just so like chill in this episode that it was like comical, but like he had just come off the Scooby Doo stuff. He's kind of in
He's
a
on
what does
high.
anything kind of matter anymore? Like he got Cass back, so that's given him some peace of mind, but he's still trying to get mom back. He's so done with everybody's BS with Catch and all that crap.
He really
He's
is
just
at like
like,
this point where he's just, whatever happens, happens at this point. I don't care.
I think as long as Sam is safe and
Yeah.
Cass checks in, he's good.
Which, to be fair, that's at this point, that's all. I don't even know why you're trying to go back and get your mom, dude. Like, just let her. She's
Nobody
good.
likes her, Dean.
You don't
Nobody
need to go
likes
back
her.
and get married. You've lived basically your whole life without her as is. She's alive. You can just assume she's doing well in this new universe. Do you really need to go get her? Things are going great for you guys here. All right. So obviously we're a big fan of Mary Winchester. So speaking of
Huge
bringing back,
fan.
episode 18 is Bring 'em Back Alive because Ketch and
Bring
Dean
him
are
back, bring
in
him back.
apocalypse world, gasp, where everything is gray and dreary and blah. They see some humans getting executed, and suddenly Dean sees Charlie. But how could it be? She was
Oh,
killed off screen.
Charlie.
Uh,
Right.
yeah,
We needed
she's
to see the
apparently seen
body.
Mary and Jack.
Oh, we
They're
did see the
bringing her
body.
back to Michael, though, and off they fly. Some random human then shoots Dean, and then Dean shoots back, finds out where they took Charlie. As they continue on, Dean collapses, and Ketch, for the first time ever, shows some real concern to what's going on here.
I liked this development between Ketch and Dean because it was comical and it
was.
made sense, but it wasn't a redemption.
Oh, no. That's probably the best thing they did with Ketch was, listen, we know he sucks. He's not going to get redeemed, but he's also not going to end this entire show for whenever he does leave on a completely sour note. You don't care for him, but
Well, at this
you see his
point,
charm.
but like, I mean, yeah, sure, he can be charming, but he's charming in like a slithery kind of way.
That's
But I
exactly
feel like with Dean, it's like this dude effed his mom, then turned his mom against them, then tried to literally kill them. So he has no feelings towards him. He's completely, I feel like, indifferent at this point. He's just a means to an end. And he even tells Sam, he's like, look, I brought him because I don't care about him. I don't care if he dies while we're over there.
Exactly.
It's like when you go on a really big roller coaster with your
in the wreckage, brother.
8-year-old. It's like I didn't enjoy going on Star Racers or whatever it's called at Epic because Logan was on it for the first time. I'd like to go on it without him so I don't have to worry about him, even though he had his arms up the whole time and was having fun. But like, you don't want to worry about people sometimes. You just want to get done what you need to get done or enjoy without
real. That's
so I get it.
Nice. Just traveling alone or with somebody you want dead. So
Or
win-win.
with somebody you want
Yeah.
dead. Then you don't have to worry about outrunning bears. You just have to trip them,
Lauren, that's actually why I think Lauren takes it. We go on
That's why we started
mountains last year. We saw a bear. We go on cruises. She doesn't care if I die or not. Great. She's going to have a good time either way. So
just have to run faster than you.
unfortunately. Now, the bullet wound actually has some poison on it. Oh no. Ketch, of course, happens to have the right medicine. Right as Charlie is about to be executed, Dean and Ketch conveniently show up and end up saving her. Cassiel shows up. He's not very happy that Dean's in the apocalypse world with Ketch. Why would he be? But he
You
then
let
agrees
him
to
go
help.
with Cat. Oh, and he's like, oh, that's so much better. And he rolls his eyes.
He then agrees to help Sam nurse Gabriel back to health. He refuses to take his grace, but when left alone, he tells his story by writing it in Enochian on the walls. He
Enochian.
explains Enochian. Oh, so sorry to interrupt.
Hey, it's an angelic
It is.
language.
He explains Lucifer stabbed the wrong Gabe, so he was then free. Off he goes to Monte Carlo to shack up with porn stars, baby.
Ooh, ooh.
Unfortunately, though, he was captured, tortured, sold to Asmodeus, and drained of his grace. So not everything works out well, right? Now, Sam then begs Gabe to back to them. What brings Gabe back to them? Sorry, and says they all need him. However, he calls the porn stars strippers, which causes Gabe to suddenly
He's like,
speak and correct them. As Medeus
he's
figures
still
it
not
out,
talking.
yeah,
He's
and
going full
calls
Kimiko.
Sam. He does. Then he just really shows up. Gabe suddenly comes to and fries Colonel Sanders like a burnt piece of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Bless. Oh, God, I was so happy when that happened. Gabe is whole again. He goes, hey, so see you guys later. Dean ends up jumping back home, catches up with Sam and Cass, while Ketch and Charlie stay behind to find Jack and Mary. Cass and Sam then catch Dean up as to what's been going on. They have no Gabe, no Grace. Dean is not very happy.
He starts like angrily doing stuff, to which, Sam and Cass kind of just like brace for impact. Not that it's coming at them. They just know that he's got to get it out.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, they that whole thing was basically for nothing. So, unfortunately, yeah. What fun facts do we have?
Well, meanwhile, in heaven, Lucifer's trying to play God.
Oh, I completely missed this entire paragraph. I am so sorry. You're right. I was wondering what was happening. Go ahead.
So Lucifer's playing God and getting annoyed, and he's demanding the angels find Jack, all while Joe tells him he's doing a terrible job. As he takes some prayers, he hears an exorcism going on, so he decides to show up at this exorcism. Immediately, he exorcises Anthony. He knows who the demon is, calls him by his first name, and he expects some applause. He expects the priest to be like, oh my gosh, thank you. Instead, when he says he's Lucifer, they start freaking out, and they say, and he says he's now running heaven, and they're like, no, and they're spraying holy water and stuff. He's very annoyed. So he snaps them out of existence and then says, damn it. Joe calls him on his bullshit, and he does not respond nicely to her. So it's like he's trying to be a nice guy, but he's only doing it to get the praise.
Oh, yeah. He's doing it for a very self-serving kind of way. But honestly, Lucifer running heaven was kind of my favorite part of Lucifer in the entire show. Going to be real.
I feel like he could have done a little. I kind of wish they had let him do a little good work before they totally blew him off, kind of. Because I feel like he makes good points at different times.
Oh, yeah, absolutely does.
He's just only in it for himself. It's like Homelander, being God or something. Or
oh, yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, it's like any kind of evil villain. I mean, like an evil one. Because there are times you're like, oh, they're not so bad. Oh, and Homelander too. Ryan's a soft spot. My gosh, it's like the Kripke shows are so similar. Okay. So fun facts, when Lucifer's actually listening to prayers, one of them he hears is, dear God, make me a bird so I can fly far, far away from here, like Jenny and Forrest Gump. The bridge used in Apocalypse World where they go to kill Charlie but stop has been used multiple times throughout the series, including the finale, and it's the Once Upon a Time bridge that is in Storybrooke, so it's the toll bridge.
Yeah, it is. That bridge is pretty famous. A lot of not so great things have happened on that bridge, like the finale. And Once Upon a Time was good for a little bit, but kind of ran its course as well. So
it went too long. It should have stopped after Frozen, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, I was even out a little bit before the Frozen, but I feel like it just got kind of too whatever. But hey, you know what? They're reusing the same. I would like to go to that bridge actually, just to go to that bridge because it's such a nice bridge.
Iconic bridge. It's a nice bridge.
It's a nice bridge, man. It's a nice bridge.
Nice view.
Yeah, no. This episode was all right because we get, Charlie. Charlie's there, and you're kind of excited to see, her again. Felicia Day, anytime she's back, is always a highlight for me. Obviously, it's not going to be the Charlie that we know and love, but Felicia Day, I'm never going to complain of, especially in this universe.
Yeah, absolutely. We all love her. They all loved her. Everybody loved her except for the writer who killed her.
Off screen, nonetheless.
All right, we're on to episode 19, Funeralia.
We are.
So the boys reach out to Rowena while she's at a fancy party making people spontaneously combust, as one does. They need her help to find Gabriel to get his grace. Cass decides he's going to go to heaven despite everybody wanting to kill him to see if they could help. So he's desperate. He learns they need his help, and he learns that Naomi, who was the angel that was torturing him and trying to get him to kill Dean, is still alive. Boo. Heaven is also
Lame.
on the fritz because they've killed so many of each other. Not enough angels to keep the power on, so none of them can leave. They're like, we can't leave heaven. We got to keep the lights on. Cass then leaves heaven. No better, no worse. Meanwhile, the boys go to find Rowena, who is torching some D-bag pharma people, but really she's killing the Reapers who are coming to collect them because she wants to talk to Billy to make her bring Crowley back. So that was a turn of events. Instead, Billy sends a Reaper to help Sam and Dean, and she informs them that all of Rowena's death books say that she will die by the hands of Sam Winchester. This is the same Reaper we met last time Dean was in the Vale with the kid who found the plague mask. So they do find Rowena, and when talking to her doesn't work out well because she doesn't always want to listen to reason, she's got an agenda. Sam actually shoots her, but she stops the bullet, and she looks incredibly sad that he actually
Does
took
because
the
they have been
shot.
bonding.
Yes, she was surprised, and she's actually hurt. She then ties Sam up, but can't bring herself to kill him. Billy does show up and very nicely tells her Crowley is not coming back. Sam, a bloody, very bloody Dean, and Rowena then have beers on the floor of the hotel, and they have a heart-to-heart. They think she can be redeemed, so she decides to try and agrees to help them find Gabriel.
God, I love that moment. I love the three of them together. Never thought I would be here saying that. However, anytime I got Rowena, especially Sam together, and yeah, the heartbreak where she was, I thought we had something here, and then he was going to kill her. But then it turns out the three of them just, they all cared for the same person, Crowley, ultimately in the end, it was a complicated relationship, and they have a complicated.
But Dean even prayed to bring Crowley back to Chuck. He's like, "You're going to bring Cass back and my mom back, and you even need to bring Crowley back."
Yeah, and it shows you how not black and white everything is either, especially when it comes to the show or religion and relationships. And I think that's one thing they do really well in this series, especially when it comes to the ones you're supposed to be against, but they end up turning as the time goes on. And Rowena's been around forever at this point.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So Funeralia means funeral rites in medieval Latin. An angel called Indra is one of the chief ancient Hindu deities. Sam tells Rowena she can change her fate. If that made you think of Merida, well, Ruth Connell has voiced Merida in video games and in Sophia the First. Sorry, I have not seen Sophia the First.
She was a princess doing all right. Or no, she was in the village doing all right. Then she became a princess overnight.
That's a cartoon show, right?
Yeah, it's Disney Junior.
Okay. I thought so.
Watch it. I guess your kids are a little too young for it.
It was
cute. Well, yeah. And it's voiced by the middle kid from Modern Family. Oh, and I think the guy who plays Cam was like a horse or something in it, maybe a Pegasus. But a bunch of the princesses would show up and they would help her learn lessons because she's a new princess. It was really cute. I thought it was one of the cuter Disney.
I'm not. I never saw it.
So when I learned that fun fact when I was prepping this episode, that was one that I text friends. Oh, guess what? Rowena's also the voice of Merida. Yeah. Not the movie, but all the other stuff.
Right.
All right. So what happens in episode 20, Unfinished Business?
So episode 20, we finally get Gabriel back with his, he's got a little kill list, just a little kill list.
I mean, who doesn't?
Boy, I'm glad I called that guy. He's tracking down Loki and his sons. One death down and he's injured. So while the boys look for him, he goes to them hoping they still have some of his grace. No luck, he passes out. The other two brothers show up. Gabe takes down one of them and the horse one flees. The boys agree to help Gabe with his revenge story, even though they really just don't like it.
Dean's rolling his eyes at it. He's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
He's just done with everybody's BS this season. He's
everyone's
so over
just done. They're just all done. Collectively by season 30, everyone's just like, oh. Basically, after faking his own death, he laid low with the Loki family surrounded by porn stars until they sold him to Asmodeus. This was right around the end of season 5, so then Gabe spent 7 years being tortured and drained of his grace by Asmodeus. Keep in mind, they were none too pleased that Odin was killed by Lucifer at the Lycian Hotel after Gabriel had promised to be done with his family's drama forever if Loki lent him his face and taught him how to be a trickster. Well, didn't work out for you, dude, you liar. So they go to attack the third and last son. The horse one gets taken out by Gabriel while Dean sneaks off to take Loki down. He gets tricked because it's Loki. Come on. So Loki can hit Dean, but he can't hit back. Gabriel finally ends up killing Loki, then agrees to help them get to the Apocalypse world with his grace. Meanwhile, in the Apocalypse world, Jack is getting a bit too cocky for his britches, and then that's when they find Kevin Tran, and unfortunately, it's a trap!
Advanced placement.
Yeah, Michael promised him heaven with his mom if he waited and killed them all. Jack manages to save Mary by wrapping her in his angel wings. However, the rest of them are cooked.
Dun dun dun.
Straight cooked. Kevin Tran, dude. Poor guy.
I know he's just screwed in every universe. The Norse god kids of Loki were Narfi, Fenri, and Slipnir. I'm sure I'm saying those wrong. So Slipnir is the one with the horse face, and in Norse mythology is the 8-legged horse of Odin. He was fathered by the stallion.
The stallion, all right.
And Loki, who had transformed into a mare to distract the stallion. So Loki is actually his mom. I feel like we covered some of this when we were doing like a Loki episode.
We definitely did, yeah.
Yeah, and so people. I think when the Loki series was on, I think we covered. Some of
I think we covered some of that. Yep. But however, good time for a refresh.
Yes. So they also made him a bit more fashionable, and you could argue he's a clothes horse. Get it? The saying "clothes horse," as that saying means a person who is very concerned with wearing fashionable clothes.
Oh, so cool.
But Fenri is a wolf and was the son of the demoniac god Loki and giantess Angerboda. He is the one that was killed first with the claws. In Marvel, the word is Fenris, based on Fenrir. Narfi is actually human. He had a brother named Vali, and they were the sons of Loki and his wife Sigyn, Sigyn.
I don't know.
I guess that is why the others transformed into animals, and he transformed into a skull. However, some lore says Narfi was a frost giant. Oh. So maybe that's what he had changed into. So Narfi was the security guard Charlie actually tried to flirt with, and the girl with the Dungeons & Dragons tattoo was the same actor.
Interesting.
So that's just another. So Richard Speight Jr. actually directed this episode. So I think he did it. I feel like it's got to be harder to direct the ones you're in. And I feel like he did a really good job. This one was a fun one.
Big important role in this episode too.
Yeah, he's like one of the main characters. So the title "Unfinished Business" is a nod to Kill Bill. Dean even calls Gabriel Uma at one point. Whenever Uma is about to face one of the 5 people on her revenge list, she tells them they have unfinished business.
Dun dun dun.
So I loved like when Gabriel's telling the story about all the porn stars. Dean is very much so engaged in that story,
of course,
intently listening.
Please, Father, tell me the one about the porn stars again.
Yeah.
Can you tell me that one about the busty Asian beauties again, sir?
Gather round.
Yeah, no, I mean, to be fair, if you're Gabe getting tortured for 7 years, but really when we know in the, the hell worlds and things of that nature, time works very differently. So 7 human years is a lot longer in these kind of, so poor dude was getting tortured for a very long time.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, he was in hell for part. Yeah.
I'd be mad as heck too, man. I'd be going after everybody.
Because it's like, if it's eternity, what does it matter? Why are you making it seem longer if it's eternity?
Yeah, I don't know. They count the years as in eternity, I guess.
And it's just like I like to interpret the supernatural finale in a different way than maybe it is. But obviously I'm going to spoil the ending here. But like when Dean goes to, I think everybody who's here has seen it all. If not, they're not here anymore. When Dean goes to heaven, Bobby flat out says, "Don't worry, he'll be here soon." And then it looks like Sam's there like immediately. But then if you watched the Winchesters takes place between him seeing Bobby and Sam showing up. So anything could have happened in that time frame, but they made it seem like heaven goes quicker, which would make sense if hell seems longer.
Interesting.
But again, if both of them are eternity, what does it freaking matter?
Time doesn't even exist in this. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Time's all relative.
It's weird. Well, what happens in episode 21 where they beat the devil? Or so the title says.
They have all the ingredients and they prepare to open the door to Apocalypse World with the help of Rowena. Apparently, it wasn't enough angel grace as it prematurely closes with a...
Oh, man.
Oh, Gabe, that's okay. It happens to everyone.
Listen, all that time with porn stars, and it still happens, all right? Just saying.
As Sam, Dean, and Cass brainstorm what to do, they decide to trap Lucifer. While discussing this, Gabe and Rowena do a little let's get it on. He's got to prove his manhood or his angelhood, whatever you want to call it. So Gabe, Loki's Lucifer. What? So Gabe Loki's Lucifer. Like he tricks him. This is my notes. I should be able to figure this out.
What are you talking about now all of a sudden? What's going on here?
So Loki's Lucifer. So he like goes to the bar. He pretends he's a random bartender, and he's just listening to Lucifer talk about like Jack, basically. But where he messes up is he says Jack, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I never told you my kid's name." He's like, "Sure you did," but they still end up tricking him because they like poisoned him to make him weaker. They tie him up with an endless supply of Archangel Grace to keep the door open. So he's bent over with the Grace just pouring out consistently. Rowena stays behind to babysit, and the boys all head off. They find some people in trouble and get to see what vamps who haven't eaten look like. They're a little bit grosser. They don't look like regular humans.
Yeah.
Conveniently, the people they save are looking for Jack and Mary. What are the odds? This is where we meet Maggie, who she sticks around for a while. They explain the shortcut to Dayton is just too dangerous, but Sam's like, F that, let's go. We're the Winchesters. Meanwhile, Lucifer gets to Rowena and she lashes out. First he's singing Camp da doo da doo da day doo da, whatever that song is. And then he starts to mess with her and she takes the bait, which like he's like, oh, the men went off and they left you back. Oh, you little old woman. It's like, come on, Rowena, really you're gonna fall for that? You're more powerful than the freaking angel.
Let the man talk his crap. He's the one who's tied up, dude.
Right. He's the one that's all whatever and ego and whatnot. So she yells at him and she explains Sam, Dean, and Cass are Jack's fathers and they're rescuing him and they're going to have a beautiful family reunion. Of course, this makes him very angry and he breaks free because he thrives on anger. We saw it when him and Cass were locked up together. So like, it's like Michael Jordan. You don't anger him. He's going to actually deliver. Right. It's not like where some people you get in their head, it makes them mess up. Not Michael Jordan, not Lucifer. So, so good thing though that he shows up because, Sam ends up getting killed by the vampires. They leave him, but Lucifer breaks free and he kills all the crazy elf vamps and he brings back Sam. Despite there being two angels with them, Sam dies, which is, I thought that was a little like, you got Gabriel and you got Cass with you and you can't.
Got two, not just two angels, but like two very strong angels at that.
I mean, Gabe's a little, neither of them are at their full potential, but like, I feel like they would have been fine.
These little elf vamps aren't anything that they couldn't have dealt with.
Well, I think in the past too, when Dean's like, shut your eyes and get down, and he does the like, and like, I remember Bobby being like, why doesn't he come on more hunts and like kills the whole room? I think it was with Eve, but yeah, I didn't love that. And I don't feel like Dean would have left.
It was definitely weak. And Dean would not have left. No.
No. Anyways, so Sam does die. Lucifer ends up coming back and bringing him back to life. To stay alive and keep the vamps away, Sam agrees to bring Lucifer to Jack. They show up at the camp right as Dean starts crying because Mary's like, where's Sam? And Dean just starts crying. Kudos to Jon Snow's great, acting. But then they show up and Lucifer looks at Jack and says, hello, son.
Surprise. Yes, he does. In this episode, Gabriel says that Rowena has a dancer's body, referring to the fact that Ruth Connell, who plays Rowena, is also a professional dancer. Not in that way, you weirdos. Gabriel grabs a book titled Laying Pipe, A Beginner's Guide to Plumbing and Pipe Fitting. He then lays pipe with Rowena. That's from the podcast Then and Now, which they do, which is pretty funny. You should check it out. Just saying, shameless plug. Now, when Lucifer is in the bar, the song playing is The Cat's in the Cradle with Silver Spoon, a song all about a poor relationship between father and son. Yeah, just leave that one there. There are many references to Lord of the Rings, Lauren's favorite movies and novels ever. In the novel, the Fellowship has to choose between taking a safe route around a mountain, the Mines of Moria, or the more treacherous path through the tunnels where they meet the Balrog. They choose the tunnels. They're attacked by orcs in the Balrog. And, of course, Gandalf says, fly, you fools. And he gets resurrected. He's no longer Gandalf the Grey. He becomes Gandalf the White. During ADR for the episode, Richard Spite Jr. did the line, you shall not pass. And everyone's running away. And it's like, shing, shing, orcs, aha. Mr. Frodo gets stabbed. And he's like, and this is really the first big fight the Fellowship gets into. Is
that before or after all the walking?
It's kind of like a midway journey. They don't get very far. They go through the Mines of Moria.
Mm.
Oh man, that level is always so crazy in the video game on PlayStation as well. Whoo! Love that shit.
Who knew?
Anyways, what are we talking about again? Supernatural. That's right. Yes.
Yep, that's all we got. And Mary seemed completely unfazed, but
Episode 22,
they found her.
Picking up where we left off with exodus as Dean and Cass tell Lucifer, hey man, you can't talk to Jack. That's our son. We got custody rights. Jack
Like,
flies
you
off.
don't talk to him.
He's scared. Cass slaps the angel cuffs on the devil, who tells him they got about 31 hours till the rift closes, buddy. As Jack struggles with what he is and what he has done, Mary tells the boys she's not leaving because why? She doesn't care about her own kids. Dean's like, yo, dude, we're not abandoning each other. Sam says, all right, guys, let's bring everybody back. That's a lot of refugees. We don't know what we're going to do with them. We got a really small place back home. They can stay for like 5 days. They don't have social security numbers. I don't know how they're going to get jobs, but let's do it. And half of them are dead in our universe, but we're going to do it.
They're gonna
Now,
make they're good at making fake documents.
they are. That is true. That is very true. Cass then lets Jack listen to Lucifer, who tells Jack that everybody blames him for everything. And he lost his virginity to Jack's mom. Dude, I banged your mom. As they all argue about whether or not Jack should talk to Lucifer, a bad angel shows up. Lucifer breaks his cuffs, kills them all. And those cuffs really didn't do anything at all. He was just kind of letting them keep up appearances. So, off on a mission, Charlie and Ketch get themselves caught by the bad angels. Not Charlie's angels, the bad angels. They're now getting tortured by a weird, accented, otherworld Castiel who
I
has an
didn't like
even
this.
worse accent. This might be the worst that we've ever. Ugh, it's gross.
Our only fun fact is Misha regrets doing that accent.
Yeah, it's awful. Our Castiel, meanwhile, is torturing a human who set up Ketch and Charlie. His commands are from Dean, of course, with a simple nod or eyes closing. They find Ketch and Charlie as Cass kills Castiel, the bad Castiel with the terrible
It's
accent.
like another me? So weird. He's like,
Oh,
Castiel's
God,
like,
terrible.
or our cast is like, I've gotten used to it.
Yeah. Then all the refugees agree to go to our world. Back home there, Lucifer's driving the bus. Let's go. Crazy train.
Wheels on the bus.
Jack, however, insists they kill Michael first. Lucifer actually convinces Jack not to do that right now. Bold strategy. We'll see how this
He's
plays
showing
out.
some promise.
He is. As they make it to the rift, Michael and his goons and goobers show up. Gabriel sacrifices himself to buy them time. Almost everybody makes it through. However,
This
a beat
time for real.
Lucifer, courtesy of Michael, gets pushed down by Sam as he leaps into the rift, and Rowena lets it close. Back
They
on Apocalypse
left him
World.
behind on purpose, and he's so hurt. He's like, "What?"
Honestly, I kind of have to side with my boy Lucy here. Like, I'm not
His
saying he was
feelings
a
are
great
hurt,
guy.
but they can't. He's not trustable. It's like I get it. It's like you want to be like, oh, okay, he's trying to do the right thing. He's actually being reasonable. It's like when Homelander's like being nice to Ryan. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah,
And you're
it's
like, oh,
that
he's making some
abuser
good,
mentality, man. Like,
points, but you can't
you
trust
can't,
him,
man. So yeah, Lucifer ends up making a deal. Be like, hey, man, I know how to open this rift. Don't kill me, and then I can have Jack. You can have everything else. We'll be kosher, all right? Cool. And that is what sets us up for the big finale.
Dun dun dun.
Whoa!
Episode 23, Let the Good Times Roll. Like you said, the finale for season 13. So Cass, Dean, and Sam continue to train Jack as they take him on a werewolf hunt and kill some Kardashian werewolf fans. There seems to be hope. Oh no, that hope is never good in Supernatural. Nope. Dean is picturing him, Cass, and Sam wearing matching Hawaiian shirts on the beach in a world without monsters. As Mary and Bobby take a lovely walk in the rain, they stumble upon blood and see a passed out Maggie. Meanwhile, Dean wakes Jack up from a nightmare as they trauma bond over nightmaring about all the people that they couldn't save. I like when Dean's playing good dad. I hate when Dean is being mean to Jack. It drives me nuts.
Same. I don't like it either. Dean, you're a good guy, man.
Yeah. So Maggie's dead. Jack is angry. So he confronts a guy at the convenience store who she was talking to. So Dean straight up shoots Jack to calm him down. As he's like, you shot me. He's like, well, you were being crazy. Like, what was I supposed to do?
To be fair.
Jack goes outside, angry at himself, he sees Lucifer, and Michael confronts Cass, Sam, and Dean. They get him in some holy oil, and they're able to take off. Lucifer then tries to convince Jack to leave Earth with him, explore the galaxy. Jack gets excited and asks if it'll be like Star Wars.
Okay, thank you.
Lucifer then promises him a lightsaber and a Wookiee. Jack agrees, but first, he brings him back to the bunker because he wants him to save Maggie. Maggie is resurrected, and Lucifer and Jack disappear. Dean calls Jody to put an APB out on the devil. Maggie tells Sam that she saw red eyes before she died. So they put it together that Lucifer is the one that killed her. Now Michael is at the bunker. This is just out of control. As Michael is killing Dean, Sam prays to Jack. He does show up and he does save the day, but then learns about Lucifer's deal, and he learns that he's the one that killed Maggie. And the way that Jack's able to pull it out of him is disgustingly gross, and it really makes you feel like, oh, maybe that was good that we left him in the apocalypse world, even though that backfired. Because he's like,
Yeah.
I killed her, and it was soft, and it was warm, and I loved it, and it was like, ugh, it was creepy. So Jack completely rejects Lucifer. So Lucifer decides he's going to slit Jack's throat and take his grace, and then he flies off with him. So that's essentially Jack is now human.
Yeah.
But also with Sam, because Sam jumped towards Jack to save him. So now Lucifer's got a human Jack and Sam, who is also just happens to be human. So now Cass, Dean, and an injured Michael are left behind because Jack had just done a number on him. They try to get Michael to go after Lucifer, but now he's like, I'm too weak and Lucy is too strong. Oh, no. So Dean offers Michael his sword, his flaming sword, his perfect vessel. Dean insists, though, if he's going to use his perfect vessel, which is himself, that Dean will remain in charge. And this is a one-time deal. Angel Dean arrives right as Sam tells Jack to kill him, and Jack goes to kill himself. Basically, Lucifer's like, one of you have to kill each other. Like, he's trying to mess with their heads. And
yeah.
And Sam's like, Jack, you do it. Like, you kill me. And then Sam's like, or I'll kill myself. When Lucifer's like, no, that's not what I wanted. Like,
he wanted stupid. He wanted Jack to kill Sam.
Well, if Jack had killed Sam, he would have proven Sam wrong that Jack wasn't innocent, and if Sam had killed Jack, he would have proven Jack wrong that Sam never cared about him.
Exactly.
So now they have a marionette fight with Dean as Michael and Lucifer.
Oh God.
Dean stabs Lucifer with the Archangel Blade, and he appears to die. They did it. Uh-oh. We then see Michael is fighting. He's taking over. Dean screams that they had a deal. Michael then says, thanks for the suit, and dips out.
Awful.
We end
it's so
with
bad.
A Peaky Blinders Dean and a freeze frame on his angelic eyes.
So bad. It's just so
Jensen
bad.
Ackles has said his least favorite thing in the entire 15 seasons was that marionette fight. He said that was terrible. And he does his hands like this when he's like describing it. I mean, it was pretty bad. It was
so bad. And then not even that, but it gets worse because Dean's now in that stupid outfit, and oh my God. And that's how we start like the next season and stuff. Oh, I hated it. I hate it.
Loathe entirely.
It was so bad. Oh God, it was so terrible. Never gonna get. Now, some fun facts. In the convenience store, Castiel introduces himself and the Winchesters as FBI agents Roland, Williams, and Knowles. Destiny's Child, baby. In one scene, Lucifer refers to Bobby as Longmire. Jim Beaver was in one episode of Longmire, 2012. Jensen, of course, we talked about. He didn't like this either. Listen, not everything is going to be the winner, all right?
But you would think at the end of season 13, they would have
at least a bigger budget.
They were just trying to make it bigger, like take it to the sky. Like this is the fight that they were expecting at the end of season 5.
Right.
That never happened.
This was the definitive fight, okay? And it was so bad. Oh God, it was
bad.
But yeah, no, that's season 13. So thank God we're done with that, because that, the season was pretty strong overall until you get to that moment and you're just like, really? Ew. But
we do get some fun Michael Dean. I don't hate Dean Michael. Michael Dean.
Yeah, no, we absolutely do.
It's not a breakfast sausage.
Jimmy Dean. Yes, James Dean. We do get that, and
we get some great episodes though in season 14. We get Mint Condition. That's one of my favorite episodes.
Yes.
I'm in the wrong document now. I already switched to The Boys.
Yeah, you have to share that one with me first of all. But yeah, so I might have that, but we're not talking The Boys. Sorry, I got distracted now. So you're distracting me. Anyways,
I did mention Homelander quite a bit.
Season 13.
There's a lot of comparisons.
There really is, and it's creepy.
Maybe when we're done with this, so The Boys is going to end soon. Obviously, we'll do a full-on recap for us. We are covering it weekly on Nerd Initiative. We'll do full on that, and then we have to do a parallels.
Oh yeah,
I mean that could be a whole podcast on its own for years.
The Cryptiverse.
Cryptiverse.
Yeah, no. So let us know your favorite moments from season 13. Go back, listen to our other episodes. Make sure you subscribe, share, follow, all of that good jazz. Where we are
All
going to be
that
getting to season
jazz.
14 here soon. Before you know it, we're going to be done with the series. Maybe by the time Lauren goes to Supernatural Con in
Ooh, that's
September.
a good and reasonable goal.
It is. I think so. We got plenty of time.
We've said that so many times. We
Famous
were
last
supposed to
words
finish
because I
this like
yeah,
3 years ago. Yeah.
we've got plenty of time. What's the
All the
worst
time
that
in the
could happen?
world. Yeah.
Let us know. We will talk to you guys soon. Peace out. Don't let the devil